All right, so let me respond to the smart dummies out here. If one particular fighter is making a big lucrative offer to one fighter that he's wanted to fight for a long time, but has been being avoided, they get in a position where we can offer this person a big money fight because they're not going to offer us the fight. Okay, and in this particular situation, we're talking about Canelo and Benavidez. So Benavidez has an option on the table, or three options in Charlo, Plant, or whoever, David Morrell. So they don't care about Canelo because Canelo's playing games. What the fuck is the point in trying to make that as if, oh, he's only capping? He doesn't really want to fight Benavidez, fight Canelo. No, what he's doing is weighing his options. Why? There's no guarantee that that fight's gonna happen. Okay. In fact, Charlo was just having a conversation with Andre the other day, talking about they should fight next. So what does that mean? That's nothing but mere formalities, man. Of okay, this is who we have on the table, because nobody's going up and down in weight to fight people to avoid fighting the guy that the public really want to see, other than Canelo. So what is the point being made that, oh, but he has all these other guys? You failed to mention that. I didn't fail to mention shit. The reality is Canelo's not going to make them an offer. So they are taking it upon themselves to say, hey, you know what? Let's go out here and do what we need to do, because Canelo doesn't want to fight us. And the world is going to know we made him an offer of $50 million and he's silent about it. And all you got out of that was he was fighting Badu Jack. The Badu Jack fight didn't go through. So now, smart ass, what's Canelo going to do now? What's he going to do now? Is he going to end up fighting Berlinga like I thought he would wind up doing initially anyway? Because for these three names that you just pulled out the hat, it doesn't make a difference what the offer was. Stupid. If Canelo decides he wanted to fight any one of them, do you think that they would turn down a Canelo fight over a Benavidez fight? Because they want the most money, right? Unless they just said, nah, fuck Canelo. He's been avoiding us. He don't want this smoke, right? But now, because he's in a position where no, they're not going to think like that. More than likely, they're going to say, nah, fuck that. We'll take that money. Unless Benavidez is making a more lucrative offer. So for them to say, we don't care about him, big deal. So what? He's showing no interest in the fight. He clearly doesn't want to fight them, using this Mexican shit as a fucking excuse. So your point about them having a 3-fight offer, so what? So fucking what? Clarissa Shields just fought against this whatever her name is. And what happened? That fighter was already preparing for a fight that was to take place 3 days after. Okay? Shields versus Hannah Gabriels, who failed her test, and that's why the fight didn't happen. She turned that shit down, okay, and said, fuck that, I'm going after Shields. Belts on the line, way more money. So what happens if, let's say Benavidez is supposed to fight Morrell? They're not going to offer Morrell $50 million. But whatever, let's just say Team Canelo offers way more. Who do you think Morrell is going to fight? Benavidez or Canelo? So, no. We know who makes look, whoever the cash cow is in any division, that's who everybody wants to go after. It's as simple as that. So it's so funny how y'all think that y'all making points by saying, oh, but you didn't say that he had a 3-fight offer. Okay, and so fucking what? Okay, just like Canelo didn't make any offers to anybody because he had a 2-fight offer. Okay, with Caleb Plant and Triple G. So he already knew that that's what his deal was. So let's just say, for example, and that's the deal. So it's a breach of contract if you do that. That was already set in stone. So we knew any talks about Benavidez or Charlo or anybody else, the only way that's not happening. We know that wasn't going on. Nothing's etched in stone with this 3-fight deal. So if that's the offer, why the fuck is Demetrius Andre trying to make offers to Jamal Charlo? It's not, oh, this is what's actually happening. So let's say if that was to actually happen, well, it will be a rematch with Caleb Plant, right? So I would think Caleb wouldn't be the next fight. It would probably be with Morrell. Charlo hasn't fought in 2 fucking years. So when Charlo comes back, first of all parties have to agree. He can't make them do anything. Charlo first fight back might not be against a top guy. We don't know that. But it might not be against a top guy. Now, all this shit you saying, how stupid will you look, or are you going to look when none of this shit comes into fruition the way you saying it's going to happen? This is just mere formalities. This is what's on the table. Okay, this is the fights we have. This is what we're offering you. That's all the fuck that is. Moron. What do you think? What do you guys think is happening because someone comes up with names? We've heard this past year, Alexander Usyk was fighting Deontay Wilder, now didn't we? We heard he was fighting Tyson Fury. Then he's not fighting Tyson Fury. The fight's on. The fight's off. Oh, he's fighting Deontay Wilder. He's fighting Daniel Dubois. He's fighting. Okay. Has any of it happened? So the last word that I heard on this heavyweight scene with Usyk is that, well, Daniel Dubois was supposed to be his mandatory, and that's who he was fighting. Until it happens, until a deal is actually agreed upon, that's the plan. That's all it is. Until you get a date, venue, okay, and you start getting a press conference, and then nothing's etched in stone. It's not happening just because they're saying it. They're letting you know this is the plan. This is the deal that we've been offered. So what does that mean? What are you trying to say? Oh, Benavidez is just capping. They said that they offered him $50 million because they knew they had the other 3 fights, but they're really going to go after the other guys instead of Canelo. Is that what you're trying to say? That it's just bullshit? He don't really want to fight Canelo? Are you really that stupid that you think that that's what's going on? When clearly Benavidez has been calling Canelo out for years. Charlo has been calling out Canelo for years. It's so funny because you Canelo lovers are like, you sit up here and want to try to make lies up and try to take little words that are said, little bullshit pieces of stories and try to make it into some big ball of fact like this is what's actually happening. No. So you don't think that the $50 million was legit that he offered him? Do you hear Canelo denying it? And regardless to any of that, you have not heard a date issued, a fight issued, a venue, nothing about that Benavidez versus anybody else, have you? No. So who is he fighting next exactly? You hear about what's supposed to happen or what they would like to happen. That's all you heard. So what the fuck is that to report? Like, oh, you have to connect the dots with all of this because he has a 3-fight offer and they said they don't care about Canelo. No, they don't care about Canelo because Canelo don't want to fucking fight them. And why would they waste their time like Demetrius Andre did, like Jamal Charlo did, hoping to get that Canelo fight that still hasn't happened? And these guys are like 34, 35 years old. Demetrius Andre is the oldest out of all of them. And I think he's like 36 or some shit. So how much longer do they need to wait for a Canelo fight? No, I've said, okay, they need to just fight each other. Simply because you're building your own legacy. So if and when that Canelo fight happens and it's like, look, I've already beat this guy. I beat that guy. I beat that guy. Why are you fighting my leftovers? And I'm the only one standing. I beat all of those guys. That's the type of position you have to put people in. But every fighter wants to have to fight each other. But if they're all sitting back trying to wait for that Canelo lottery fight, then it's difficult to make those fights now, isn't it? So what proof, what valid points do you think you're making by talking about they have a 3-fight deal? No, they have an offer. Stupid, not a deal. It's an offer. And we don't even know that it's going to actually happen. But what the fuck does that have to do with the $50 million offer to Canelo that he clearly turned down? It's always good to have a plan B, plan C, plan D, just in case shit happens. Just like nobody, who the fuck knew Hannah Gabriels was gonna fail her drug test? Who saw that coming? And as I stated, her replacement ended up pulling out of a fight that she was already previously in to fight Clarissa Shields. So what the fuck point are you making? People are going where the bigger money is. That's just the way the shit goes. So let's just say, for example, if Canelo was to offer David Morrell, just say $5 million to fight him, okay? And let's just say Team Benavidez decided we'll offer you 10. I believe Morrell will go after that 10. And he has a worthy opponent in both. Now, there's other things, upsides, all of that. It's a lot of shit you can factor into that. But in terms of deals and offers, man, that's called negotiating, stupid. That's all that is. What the fuck? Like, you really thought you struck gold. Like, I'm gonna drop a bomb on Aries. I'm gonna tell him some shit he ain't think about. No, motherfucker, nobody cares about that dumb shit you talking about. Those are just offers, that's all. That's all. It's like you going to look for work. Do you go and look at one particular job, or do you say, okay, I'm gonna put an application here, 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 here. So if you got 8 applications and they all want to hire you, it's obviously, dumbass, it's impossible for you to work at 8 different places at the same time, right? So you're going to pick what you want to do. Some people may pick one job, some might want 2. But those are options. This is what's on the table. That's all that is. He's not going to fight all of them at the same time, right? No. So if it's a 3-fight deal, yeah, dummy. If Canelo doesn't comply, he doesn't want to fight, then simple. So what bomb did you just drop? Man, you motherfuckers are easy to beat. You guys are just stupid. You guys are just fan nut huggers. That's the crazy part. You are everything I say you are. You are a nut hugging fanboy. You're not even a man, and you basically run around here getting in your feelings simply because the fact is your favorite fighter is being a diva right now. And everybody sees it. Only the fanboys refuse to acknowledge it. If it was another fighter doing the same things, you'd be running your mouth about it. And you really reacted like you had something so powerful to say. You ain't say shit. All you did was just made it known. You know what his nuts taste like. That's all you made known. You're a nut hugger, meat riding little boy. That's all you are. All of you that think that way. And there's one particular idiot, more than all of them, this always have something to say trying to defend Canelo. That's what you live for. You just, I just got to find a way to try to justify my God, my king, my lover, my secret fantasy guy, because that's all you do. This dude is being a fraud. He's the only boxer in boxing going up and down in weight to avoid fighting the fighters that we want to see him fight. What the whole boxing public want to see, he avoids them. He's the only one. Show me one fighter in any other division that just keep going up and down in weight, fighting guys we don't even care to see him fight, but because he's fighting, people will tune in and watch. And those numbers are dwindling down now, right? So guess what? You put him in a position where either he's going to put up or shut up. It's as simple as that. I don't care nothing about how you feel about this man personally. You should be ashamed of yourself. I don't know how you can look yourself in the fucking mirror. A man acting this way over another man like you guys are lovers or something. Keep your little fantasies to yourself. We don't care about all that. All this shit about a 3-fight deal, dummy, is called odd. You must be a fucking real loser at life. Because you really don't understand. You always have a plan B, a plan C. It's always good to be prepared. If this doesn't happen, I have that. If that doesn't happen, I have this. And that's life. It's a big monopoly. So what did you prove by making those stupid little comments? Nothing. Nothing. Common sense and reality is real simple. If you have your eyes set on something, this is my opponent that I want. I want this as an opponent, this person. But that opponent doesn't want to oblige. Do you sit there and cross your fingers and keep praying, hoping, and wishing on a star? Or do you go out and say, fuck this, I'm not going to put my career on hold? It's as simple as that. So I don't understand all of this childish little stupidity that I don't even know how you even feel comfortable typing the dumb stuff that you guys type in and the stuff that you say, because at the end of the fucking day, it's boxing. This is what you sign up for. And when people say, oh, Canelo's supposed to just fight everybody, here's the difference from a champion. Your resume should look different from everybody else's. Your actions should be different. Because when you can look and say, damn, he beat all these motherfuckers, that's what you call cleaning out a division. But when you get to the point where, unless you're forced to fight a mandatory, or worthy mandatory, because we know some of these mandatories, like how did you become mandatory, right? But basically, you're put in a position where you have to fight because on your own accord, you're just taking the easier fights. I'm going to stay away from the A-class fighters and fight the B- guys. A champion is a champion for a reason, not just win a belt one night and then hold it hostage and fight a bunch of fights that nobody cares about. That's what a lot of these so-called champions have been doing. Canelo was no fucking different. Simple. So fuck living off what he did in the past. How do you get your ass whooped and still hold on to your belts? Simple. If he didn't have that franchise championship bullshit, maybe he would have lost by now. Maybe, maybe not. And I say maybe because, well, certain guys he don't want to fight. And the fact for certain guys that have to come up and wait to fight him, well, they're only going to do that if they know that they got the fight with him. But what people are suggesting is that they come up and campaign in that weight class and start from the bottom. No, they don't want to do that. Okay? Just like, for example, why John Ryder didn't have to do that? Huh? Why that meatball that became his mandatory a couple of years ago? I think that was right before the Billy Joe Saunders fight, if I'm correct, whatever. But whatever. Why? A guy that they voted on that nobody wanted to see Canelo fight this guy ends up becoming his mandatory. And he fought that guy. None of these guys, they didn't earn shit. He just handpicks who he wants to fight. That's what he does. He fights who and it came out of his mouth. I fight who I want to fight. Yes, exactly. We know this. For a fact. All he did was admitted that shit. But what he won't say is, look, I'm not sure I can beat Morrell. I'm not sure I can beat Benavidez. I'm really not. I don't really want to fight them if I don't have to. He's not going to say that. The same way this woman that just fought Clarissa made this comment about how, I'm not going to lie, because like Mexican fighters, they're tough. Like even me, when I have to fight a Mexican fighter, I'm like, oh man, she's Mexican. Oh my God. And all this. Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's what Canelo's thinking. It's tough fighting other Mexican fighters, right? Who knows? Who cares? Doesn't matter. The point is, he's making excuses to not fight the best fighters. It's simple. You ask a person, why did he want to fight Badou Jack? Oh, he dared to be great. No, he didn't dare to be great. He wanted to go up and drain this motherfucking man. And this ignorant dummy wanted to make excuses. Trying to talk about what happened 2 years ago when a man is walking around here fighting at the actual limit of the weight class. His body has adjusted to that weight. That's what he walks. And again, more than likely he walks around heavier than that. So he gets down to that. And now you want him to come down 20 pounds more and put a rehydration clause on it. But you motherfuckers don't see anything wrong with that. But you were the same people roasting Tank. You were the same exact people roasting Tank for that shit with Ryan. And it wasn't nearly even close to what the fuck Canelo was trying to request. He says he wants to fight Bivol only if Bivol wins. Right? Bivol won that fight. And what does he do? He still doesn't fight Bivol. But what? Well, the same deal as last time. They said, oh, right, light heavyweight, because you don't want your titles on the line. But yet, you're unbeatable at 168, right? That's what you and your fans say. That's your best weight. Nobody can beat you there, but you don't want to fight people there. Mauricio Suleiman chimes in and said the WBC won't sanction that because, well, the war going on and with Bivol being Russian. Yeah, I'll come up with an excuse to save your hide, I'll take the blame for you. I'll take it off you, put it on me. I'm not a fighter, so it doesn't matter. They're going to hate me. They can hate me. It doesn't matter, but you're the fighter. Let me put the blame on me. That's all that was. And I know that you guys are stupid, but you guys know exactly what you're doing and what you're saying. As I said, if it was any other fighter, you guys would be saying the same shit. See, the difference with me and you motherfuckers, one of the many differences, you nut huggers, that's all y'all are. Little boy fanboys. I don't care how much I like a fighter as a fighter. When they're doing something wrong or something unjust or whatever, I'll speak on it the same way I will as when I speak on them doing something good. Because this is not about, oh, I'm a fan. I'm nobody's fan. So all this Canelo love, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna take a page out of Loma book and make a justice for Canelo page now? Because nobody's supposed to speak the truth anymore. You can't have a girlfriend acting that way unless y'all act just alike, and she probably is the dominant one in the relationship because y'all act like a bunch of little soft divas, man. Like honestly, I never understood how so-called men can sit up here and just make excuses. You know how I feel when I'm talking to you little goofballs? Just imagine being a lion. Huh? Just imagine you walk out into the jungle, right? And you look around. Where's the giraffes? Where are the silverbacks? Where are the rhinos? Huh? Where are the elephants? All I see is butterflies, worms, hummingbirds, caterpillars. That's all I see with you guys. And basically, nut huggers will never understand an actual man. They'll always be, my feelings are hurt. You know Aries don't give a fuck about your feelings, boy. You know that shit. So I'm sitting up here just listening like this guy is just a real asshole. Are you trying to get some type of recognition or something? Because at the end of the day, like maybe I ain't spending enough attention with the motherfucker. I ain't giving enough attention. I ain't spending no time with him. Maybe that's what it is. Because you motherfuckers just say the dumbest shit. I don't need to have information that has nothing to do with one thing. It's just like, for example, if you're a supervisor at job A or a manager, let's say, no, you're a manager at job A, but at job B, you're not. You're not even a supervisor. So you answer to people that answer to people. No, let's take it a step further. You're not even a manager. You are the administrator. You run the whole shit. But at the next job, you're none of those things. You walk into job B that has nothing to do with job A. Do you think because you're an administrator there, do you know who I am? I'm an administrator at job A. Listen there, boy. At job B, you're not. Simple. So the same rules that don't apply to you at job A, they do apply to you here. And that's what you're expected to do when you're here, just like everybody else. But you come in there like you're bigger than everybody because of job A. Job A has nothing to do with job B. You guys are that immature, that dumb that you can't understand simple things like that. So your options and how you do things, what you do, everything you do is a reflection of yourself. And the fact that you have a man that clearly just picked, who the fuck? The same guy that Badu Jack just beat, and this Macabre guy. This is the same thing Canelo did last time. Out of nowhere, he's fighting Macabre, and all of y'all, oh, he's daring to be great. That fight fell apart. Nobody cared about it. I guess Badu Jack's name has a little more respect on it than this guy Macabre, because nobody knew who Macabre was. Same way, nobody talks about Badu Jack either. And like I said, I like Badu Jack as a fighter, but that's not even the point. It has nothing to do with the principle. So guess what? That fight didn't go through because Canelo wants more than what he deserves. Simple. He thinks he's entitled to whatever. Now all of a sudden he's in the position of, well, who does he want to fight? See, you want to bring up bullshit that you think for some reason is making a point, but you're not making any fucking point at all. So if Canelo doesn't want to comply, this is the other options that we have, right? Well, who the fuck does Canelo want to fight? Smart guy. Who does he want to fight? Because we know who his two mandatories are. And that's how you are so fucking stupid and full of shit yourself. Why? Because as a mandatory, all right, as a mandatory, they can push for that shit. They can make noise about that. And either Canelo's going to fight, because did you know, dumbass? Did you know that David Morrell is his mandatory? And did you know that David Benavidez is his other mandatory? Did you know that? So when they decide to make some noise, either Canelo's going to put his belts up and fight Benavidez like a man, or he's going to be a little bitch and vacate so he don't have to fight him and make that I'm a Mexican excuse. I don't want to fight other Mexicans because I represent Mexico. Did you know that? So either one, Morrell or Benavidez, can put pressure on him. And basically, the fact he's not even acting like a man in that situation, they're looking at him like, you know what, this motherfucker really just don't want to fight, does he? So either they're going to push for it. What's best for each fighter's career is what they're going to go for. Simple. That's how that's going to go. Just like the WBC did some corrupt shit, and they took Devin Haney, right? I mean, not Devin Haney. They took Shakur Stevenson after the Devin Haney-Lomachenko fight. And Shakur Stevenson was the mandatory and number one contender. And they bumped him down to number 2 and replaced him with Lomachenko, who just lost to Devin Haney. So don't come talking to me about or what somebody said or what. I don't give a fuck what they say. They say a whole lot of shit. Right? Just like we heard Teofimo Lopez's father sit up here and shake Bill Haney's hand and say he promised him Dev will be the next fight. Just like we heard Teofimo's dad sit there and shake Bob Aaron's hand and promise him Lomachenko will be the next fight. Just to hear him end up saying what? DAZN knew what I was going to do. I was about to drop the belts and go to 140. So he admitted he openly lied about the shit, right? But Teofimo Lopez fans, same way. No, don't hold him accountable for nothing he says and does. And if that wasn't some grimy shit, well, yeah. But you in the same stupid category. So you basically don't have the common sense to understand what's going on. I got to talk to y'all dummy souls because y'all too stupid to understand on your own. Doesn't make a difference what you say. The facts are what they are. Okay, and in terms of what someone said or what their options are, well, I tell you what, just like they said this week, let's see what happens if Morrell and them start to make noise and say, fuck this, we're going to force this bitch-ass motherfucker to fight because on his own, he don't want to fight us. Let's say Morrell starts doing the same thing. Because what happens is this, when you have a mandatory challenger, okay, a mandatory, that means you have to fight that person unless they're willing to take step-aside money. Well, if he was to offer step-aside money, who the fuck does Canelo want to fight? And for all this time, for people that's even saying he wants to fight Jermall Charlo, who hasn't fought in 2 years, how does this go? Now, is he going to fight Jermall Charlo at a catchweight, or is it going to be at 168? How is this going to go? What excuses are you going to make for him in that situation? All right, and for the record, if Jermall Charlo accepts it, then he accepts it. That's on him. If he accepts the terms or whatever, that's on him. No excuses. I don't need to make excuses. You dummies make excuses because everything come out your mouth is to try to justify wrong, corruption, bullshit that your favorite fighter is doing. You talk about doing homework. What the fuck homework are you doing, dummy? All you trying to do is you just a fucking fanboy that has nothing better to do with your time. And that's all you do is sit on your funky ass all day behind a computer screen, jumping from channel to channel to see what everybody's saying about your favorite fighter. And those who agree with you or basically show favoritism towards him, yeah, subscribe. Yeah, this person is this. Yeah, see, you know what you're talking about. That's all you do. For those who have common sense and see different, you must be an IBFP fan. You must love him because that's all he does is just praise Canelo. And I got people even coming in my comment section bringing his name up and I'm like, damn, I forgot all about that guy. And yeah, everybody's garbage truck juice, but somehow Canelo's the greatest thing to ever touch earth. Plain and simple, if he doesn't want to fight his own mandatories, if he doesn't want to fight the fighters that the public wants to see, it is obvious that he doesn't. You and your people get together and find a perfect opponent for him then. Because if y'all don't, he will. And it'll more than likely be somebody nobody wants to see. So if he ends up finally fighting Berlinger, like I said, I think he was going to wind up doing, and then all of a sudden, he decides Badu Jack. And Badu Jack said, yeah, okay, cool. 90% done. Oh, by the way, there's going to be a rehydration clause attached to you want this fight to happen 20 pounds under the cruiserweight limit. So you want to fight at 180 is where it starts. That's cool. Because see, Canelo walks around 180 something pounds. I think he said he walks around 188 pounds. So he only has to lose around 8 pounds to come down to to come down to 180. Badu Jack walking around at the limit, basically at 200, he has to come down 20 pounds plus a rehydration clause. And your punk ass sit there and try to justify that shit. And now you're sitting up here talking about David Benavidez having options. Like that's wrong or something. Or like he's trying to hide the information. Well, check this out, stupid asshole. If you got the information, dummy, it wasn't leaked. It was what was said. If they didn't want anybody to know this, what they have came out and said, we don't care about Canelo, we have a 3-fight deal. Stupid. No. You're just repeating what they said. So what does that mean? Let me say it one more time for the hard of hearing. If Canelo doesn't want to comply, he doesn't want this fight, he want to turn out 50 million, fuck it. This is our 3 options. We're not going to sit around and wait for Canelo. So what the fuck bombshell do you think you dropped? Repeating something someone said. That would be like me making this video, stupid ass, then saying, I hope nobody watches it. The fuck do you think I made the video for? Man, you guys are so immature, man. Anyway, to the real ones out there, y'all already know what it is. But to you dummies, y'all got a lot of growing up to do. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of every one of these idiots. And I will catch y'all in the next video.